So here are the roles. We've got Nicholas playing the role of lead prosecuting attorney. We've got his star witness with his DJ. He's very excited about it. We have the defendant, Parker, who's accused of stealing the social studies books. And we've got Gavin, who is going to be defending him. He is the lead defending attorney.
Best one in the school.
And the best one in the school, apparently. Okay, today you're going to see examples of cross-examination and direct examination of a witness. So you'll get an idea of what kind of questions and strategies the lawyers use on both sides and what the witnesses and defendants can use as well. I already told you who the people involved were, so you know what the roles are. The case is basically about Parker, who is actually filming right now, accused of stealing social studies books from my room at lunchtime. Now, obviously, you're not going to rely on computers quite as much during the trial as you are now. These students are just volunteering their time, so they don't have this memorized. You will know your role so well during the direct examination, you'll essentially have it memorized. The cross-examination, not so much, so you still have the computer for reference. They're going to be pretty much reading off the computers. You won't be. So that's the only real difference. Okay, in this first scene, you're going to see DJ. He's the key witness for the prosecution, and Nicholas, who is the prosecuting attorney. He's going to be direct examining DJ, and again, the idea is to have a story told just the way they want it to be told, and they want it to sound like the defendant and only the defendant could have taken these books, that he's guilty and no one else possibly could have done the crime. Now, the testimony should be essentially memorized. They won't, obviously, because they're just helping out, but it shouldn't sound memorized. So the goal is to sound a little more conversational, and Nicholas's goal is to tell his story through DJ. Are you guys ready?
So, tell me what your role here at Forest Park is.
I'm a student.
Do you receive good grades?
Yes, I got straight A's last year and during first quarter so far this year.
So would you say you are responsible?
Yes, I'm also allowed to come in during lunch to help teachers organize their rooms.
Tell me what you saw on this day in question.
Well, I was walking to Mrs. Van Eshout's room to help her organize her room. When I passed by Mr. Vogt's room, I saw Parker taking books from underneath the desks.
So, did you say anything?
No, I just figured Parker was helping Mr. Vogt organize.
And was he?
Well, I found out later that day Mr. Vogt reported that he had 12 books stolen from his room.
Was there anyone else in the room?
No, Mr. Vogt said that he did not have anyone staying in for working lunch that day.
Was there anyone else in the hallway?
From the time I got into the main hallway to the time I got to Ms. Van Eshout's room, I did not see any other students.
Why would anyone want these books?
Middle schoolers love social studies books. They're more valuable than oxygen. Students have social studies books, reading parties on the weekend, so it makes sense that someone wanted to steal them.
How long have you been a classroom aide?
Since I was in 7th grade, so almost a year and a half now.
How does that compare to your classmates?
I have been able for the longest period of time. I'm very responsible.
No further questions.
What you saw was the prosecution established the key witness was responsible, that no one else was in the hallway, so that they're trying to meet the burden of proof that Parker and only Parker, since no one else was around, could have possibly stolen the social studies books. And DJ, since he's such a great student and is so responsible, you have no motivation to make up this story, and so it must have been Parker. Now you're going to see a cross-examination of a witness. So Gavin, who is on the defense side, is going to try to discredit DJ and make him sound like he's not quite as responsible as the prosecution made him sound. Whenever you're ready.
So you're quite a responsible student, right?
Yes, I already said that.
Do responsible students get infractions?
Of course not.
Isn't it true that you received 2 infractions last year?
Yes, but...
Just yes or no response, please.
Yes.
So, by your own logic, you could be considered not responsible, could you?
But...
Just a yes or no response, please.
No.
Isn't it true that one of those infractions last year, one of the infractions you received was for fighting with Parker at lunch?
Parker started it.
Just a yes or no response, please.
Yes.
Isn't it also true that you have hosted some of these social studies book reading parties?
Yes.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Okay. So, what you just heard was the defense suggests that not only could someone else have taken the books, that it could have been the key witness of the prosecution, DJ themselves, or DJ himself. They use leading questions, which are questions that are hard to answer any other way than how you want them answered. And they showed that he did receive some infractions last year, and that one of them was a scuffle with the defendant, which would give him a reason for wanting Parker to be found guilty. And perhaps they're suggesting maybe he's lying to make sure that Parker is determined guilty. So now you're going to see the direct examination of the defendant. Gavin will direct examine Parker, and just like the last one, look for it should sound smooth and flowing, and it should be the story just as they want to tell it. And they're going to be obviously suggesting that Parker's not the only one who could have taken the social studies books, which is what the prosecution would say. And they're going to try to refute that story and suggest that someone else could have, not that they did, but they could have taken the books.
Please state your name.
Parker Ream.
Please tell the court how many infractions you received last year.
Not one in my entire life.
Not even outside at lunch?
No, last year DJ pushed me into the ground, but luckily there were people around to see that I didn't do anything wrong.
So, is DJ still upset?
Apparently, yes, and it seems like they want me to get in trouble to get back at me.
Tell me what happened on that day in question.
I was going to Miss Van Lieshout's room for working lunch. I had some problems on the last assignment, so I needed help.
Miss Van Lieshout has stated she was not expecting you. Why didn't you prearrange this meeting?
I checked Power School during 5th hour, and I saw I received a bad grade. I wanted to go in right away.
This sounds like something a responsible student would do, doesn't it?
Yes, I am very responsible.
What were you doing then in Mr. Vogt's room?
I was not doing anything. I was never there.
Why did you show up 10 minutes late to Miss Van Lieshout's room then?
Well, I ate some of the school hot lunch on my walk to her room. And let's just say it didn't stay with me for very long.
No further questions.
So now what you just saw is the defense established that Parker is responsible. He checks his grades during class. He sets up his own working lunches, and that he may be the victim here. And they raised the possibility that the key witness for the prosecution, DJ, actually started the fight and wants to get back at Parker because DJ got in trouble for it last year. Parker didn't, and he's never gotten an infraction. So what you saw was a very good job of telling a story that shows that Parker is actually a good person and that there was an opportunity for DJ to be taking the books or someone else. So now you're going to hear the prosecution, Nicholas, the lawyer, cross-examine Parker, and they're going to obviously try to refute what just happened, and Parker is claiming he's a responsible student, and Nicholas is going to be showing that he has some kind of bias. And I forgot to give Nicholas the picture. Sorry. Okay. All right, go ahead, Nicholas.
Please tell me the witnesses involved who cleared your name during the fight last year at lunch. Caleb, Eric, and Nate.
These are your friends. These are friends of yours, aren't they?
Not really.
Tell the court what this is a picture of.
Me, Caleb, Eric, and Nate.
What are you holding up in the picture?
A sign.
What does the sign say?
Best friends forever.
Isn't it also true that the lunch that day was Domino's Pizza?
I don't remember.
Here is that day's lunch menu. Please read it.
Domino's Pizza.
Isn't it true that you have eaten Domino's Pizza every day that it has been offered at Forest Park?
Yes.
And isn't it true that you nor any other students at Forest Park have ever filed a complaint about it making them sick?
Yes.
So there are 700 students at this school. Domino's is offered 20 times per year, which amounts to a total of 14,000 instances of Domino's Pizza consumption. Yet no one has ever reported Domino's making them sick. However, you say that conveniently on this day you showed up unannounced and 10 minutes late to Mrs. Van Lieshout's room. Isn't that right?
Yes, that is what I'm saying.
No further questions.
So although it sounds a little unrelated, they established that this fight that Parker had with DJ, the people that cleared his name were actually his best friends, and that when Parker was unaccounted for in the hallway for 10 minutes, it might not have been that it made him sick, since that's never happened at Forest Park, at least on record. So it was a good job of the defense trying to discredit Parker and show that he isn't the great person and that he had plenty of opportunity to take the social studies books. Is your finger on the lens cap? You can stop. Stop. All right, so go over that. No, that totally messed it up. Start over.
Wait, no. That.
Oh, 1 second, I the last where I was.
Parker, can you just stand over? This just got.
So
We'll
you could
start there.
not.
You can start over.
So by your own
Hold on.
logic, please. Oh, did you start? Does that mean go? Okay.
That's it.
The end.
All right.